Trauma does not exist. Use. If you are going to state things so forcibly, I'd like a thorough explanation. To begin with, what is the difference you refer to between etiology and teleology? Philosopher. Supposing you've got a cold with a higher fever, and you've gone to see the doctor. Then, suppose the doctor says the reason for your sickness is that yesterday, when you went out, you weren't dressed well enough, and that's why you caught a cold. Now, would you be satisfied with that? Youth. Of course, I wouldn't. It wouldn't matter to me what the reason was. The way I was dressed, or because it was raining, or whatever. It's the symptoms, the fact that I'm suffering with a high fever now, that would matter to me. If he's a doctor, I need him to treat me by prescribing medicine, giving shots, or taking whatever specialized measures are necessary. Philosopher. Yet, those who take an etiologic state, including most consultors and psychiatrists, would argue that what you were suffering from stemmed from such and such cause in the past, and would then end up just consulting you by saying, so, you see, it's not your fault. The argument concerning so-called traumas in typical of etiology. Yes, wait a minute. Are you denying the existence of trauma altogether, philosopher? Yes, I am. Admiredly. Yes. What? Aren't you, or I guess I should say, Adler, an authority on psychology? Philosopher. In Adlerian psychology, trauma is definitively denied. This was a very new and revolutionary point. Certainty. That Freuderian view of trauma is fascinating. Freud's idea is that a person's psychic wounds, traumas, cause his or her present unhappiness. When you treat a person's life as a vast narrative, there's an easy, understandable causality and sense of dramatic development that creates strong impressions and is extremely attractive. But Adler, in denial of the trauma argument, stated the following: no experience is in itself a cause of our success or failure. We do not suffer from the shock of our experiences, the so-called trauma, but instead we make out of them whatever suits our purpose. We are not determined by our experience, but the meaning we give them is self-determining. Use. So we make of them whatever suits our purpose? Philosopher. Exactly. Focus on the point Adler is making here when he refers to the self being determined not by your experience themselves, but by the meaning we give them. He is not saying that the experience of a horrible calamity or abuse during childhood or other such incidents have no influence or forming a personality. Their influence are strong, but the important thing is that nothing is actually determined by those influences. We determine our own lives according to the meaning we give to those past experiences. Your life is not something that someone gives you, but something you choose yourself, and you are the one who decides how you live. Use. Okay. So you're saying that my friend has shut himself in his room because he actually choose to live this way. This is serious. Believe me, it is not what he wants. If anything, it's something he was forced to choose because of circumstances. He had no choice, sorry, other than to become who he is now. Philosopher. No! Even supposing that your friend actually thinks I can't fit into society because I was abused by my parents, it's still because it is his goal to think this way. Use. What sort of goal is that? Philosopher. The immediately thing would probably be the goal of not going out. He is creating anxiety and fear as his reasons to stay inside. Use. But why doesn't he want to go out? That's where the problem resides. Philosopher. Well, think it from the parent's view. How would you feel if your child were shut up in a room? Youth. I'd be worried, of course. I want to help him return to society. I want him to be well, and I'd wonder if I'd raise him appropriately. I'm sure I would be seriously concerned and try in every way imaginable to help him back to a normal existence. Philosopher. That's that is where the problem is. Youth. Where? Philosopher. If I stay in my room all the time without ever going out, my parents will worry. I can get all of my parents' attention focused on me. They'll be extremely careful around me and always handle me with kid gloves. On the other hand, if I take even one step out of the house, I'll just become a part of a faceless mass who no one pays attention to. I'll be surrounded by people I don't know and just end up average or less than average, and no one will take special care of me any longer. Such stories about reclusive people are not uncommon. Use. In that case, following your line of reasoning, my friend has accomplished his goal and is satisfied with his current situation. Philosopher, I doubt he is satisfied. I'm sure he's not happy either. But there is no doubt that he is also taking action in line with his goal. This is not something that is unique to your friend. Every one of us is living in the line with some goals. That is what theology tells us. Use. No way. I reject that as completely unacceptable. Look, my friend is philosopher. Listen. This discussion won't go anywhere if we just keep talking about your friend. It will turn into a trial of absentia, and that would be hopeless. Let's use another example. Well, how about this one? It's my own story about something I experienced only yesterday. Ooh, philosopher. Ooh, I am all ears.